everyone, and welcome to today's class. For today's flow, feel free to grab a set of blocks and have those nearby. That can be helpful as we flow through today's class, help creating some space for you and your body as you need. So if you'd like to have those, go ahead and grab it, and then meet me in a seated position on your shins. So coming into this seat, you can go ahead and sit right on your heels, hips to heels to get started. But if you'd like that block for support, go ahead and sneak that underneath your sit bones. To give yourself a little bit more support, some ease coming into the start of class. Whether you decided to grab a block or not, go ahead and click the inner edges of the heels towards one another. A little bit more mindfulness through the shin, through the top of the ankle. And find a gentle lift, stacking the spine on one another. Not forcing any particular aesthetic or alignment, still keeping the natural curves of your spine, but just finding a gentle lift. Whether you're on a block or directly hips to heels, you may feel a sensation within the front of the ankles, finding space all the way up through the shin. It's a more tricky spot to create space in, so you may not have any particular sensations arising in that area today, but maybe you do. Allow your hands to rest wherever they feel comfortable, whether you want to take a little bit more energy in, allowing your palms to face the sky, or if you just want to settle into your current state. Just find a comfortable resting position with your palms on your thighs. And take a big roll of your shoulders up, back, and down. Make it a little official as you settle into your space here on your mat. Begin to settle into your breath, feeling the rise and fall of the chest. In this position, it's likely that you're feeling the movement in your chest versus in your belly, but you may feel both. Start to become more and more aware of your body and your breath. And take 2 breaths together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So go ahead and take one more breath to yourself. And go ahead and seal the lips. And begin that deep inhale, all the way through the base of the lungs, through the chest, through the collarbones. Pause at the top. And then open the mouth, exhale. Seal the lips, inhale. All the way to the peaks of the lungs. Pause. Open the mouth, exhale. Seal the lips. Return to your normal pattern of breathing, not forcing any depth or length. Allow the hands to come alongside your body. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, reach the fingertips tall. Big inhale as you stretch the body up and forward. Exhale, hands to heart center. Once more, sweep the arms down, around and up. Maybe gaze up. Finish that inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and rock off the block if you had grabbed one today. Come onto your hands for just a brief moment. Tuck the toes. Feel that change in sensation as you come off the tops of your feet. And then press the heels down to the earth. Straighten the legs. Come into a forward fold. Feel free to take a few moments as you rock back and forth. Exploring the space within the backs of the legs. And even the space within the muscles along the spine. Wherever you are, allow the head to hang heavy. And give some space between your feet. You can make those sways forward and back big or small. But keep the entirety of the sole of the foot anchored into the mat. So just a moment before I had my toes lift off and it kind of threw me off my center. And so I want you to keep your soles grounded. Keep that energy nice and soothing and rhythmic. Allow your body to settle, fall heavy for 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, halfway lift. You can either plant your hands, maybe grab a set of blocks, come onto the fingertips, whatever feels good for you. On that inhale, pull the collarbones forward towards the top edge of the mat. Lengthen the spine. And as you find that length through your back body, sit the sit bones back further in space, maybe legging the tailbone up just a little bit higher to explore a little bit more space within the back body, throughout the trunk, the torso, as well as the back of the legs. Rounding the shoulders just a little bit more open so you can peel your heart, your chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale once more, pull the collarbones forward, find that length. Gaze is just beyond the front edge of the mat. Then exhale, soften, maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale, pull the chest through. Engage the backs of the legs by pressing the knees back in space and pulling the chest forward. Feel those lines of tension as the back body tries to lengthen forward and as the hips try to push back and the length tries to go down towards the heels, creating that right angle of sorts. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and grab your big toes with peace fingers. Go ahead and find that anchor. Again, you can change your base of support, your stance to that suits you best. On your next inhale, find length. Exhale, allow the elbows to come wide as you pull the body down. And then stay here for a few breaths. Keeping that energy between your grip, all the way through the arms, the back body, and the backs of the legs. Reaching the sit bones up towards the sky, pressing the knees back in space. With every inhale, you're trying to find length in both directions, and exhale, maybe you explore a little bit more depth. Each round of that pattern is only going to result in very minor movements. That you'll feel that balance of energy as you shift between inhale and exhale. A few more breaths here, working through that ebb and flow of length and settling. And can go ahead and release your bind. Pull the chest up for just a moment and then wiggle the feet a little bit wider. As wide as the mat, turn the toes out and sit the hips low. Here's another good space to grab that block. If you had some nearby today, you can always put that underneath your sit bones. The blocks are a nice way to explore poses that might not necessarily be naturally accessible, but they also provide a little bit more ease no matter how much depth and range of motion you may have. So even if this is something that's pretty easily accessible, it's always nice to bring a little bit more ease to certain flows. So whether you have that support or not, feel free to shift your weight back and forth. Explore the sensations within your hips, seeing how your body is showing up for you today. And we're going to find a balance between softness and energy. So I want you to slowly bring the palms of the hands together as the elbows come towards the inner lines of the knees, and press the palms down and in towards heart center to open the hips just a little bit more. Thumb to heart, heart to thumb. Find that connection and find that opening within the chest and engagement within the back body. If you don't have blocks but want to find a little bit more ease, roll the mat underneath your heels to find a little bit of a lift. And then allow, if you did sway side to side, allow that shift in weight to settle in towards center. Find your middle. Pull all the energy into this space you've created and take 3 breaths to yourself. Still using that same pattern of inhale, finding length, exhaling to settle in. And even in this pose, there's really not many adjustments that need to be made in that capacity, but it still helps you tune into all the sensations that you're feeling here. Final breath. Plant the hands. Press the sit bones up towards the sky. Start to straighten the legs, coming into that forward fold. Your stance can stay wide here, and just shift the hips back and forth. We're going to slowly transition between these two postures from forward fold to passive squat. So if you'd like to have blocks for your hands, that's fine. Again, wherever you find that you need that extra support to help that transition be a little bit more comfortable. One more breath. Settle into that forward fold. Turn the toes out, sit the hips low. Gaze forward, passive squat. And then press through the heels, sit bones to the sky. Knees come towards the direction of strength. Toes return forward. So with that transition from the forward fold to the passive squat, turning the toes out and in, just allow for the space within the hips. So allow your body to incorporate that little bit of rotation to give yourself that room to roam. Turn the toes out, sit the hips low, gaze forward. Sit bones lift, toes face forward. Inhale, toes point out, sit, hips sit low. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit low. Exhale, fold. 2 more rounds here. Inhale, sit low. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit low. Exhale, fold. And settle in a little bit deeper into your forward fold. But still staying mindful. Keep lifting the sit bones towards the sky. Chest pulling. Finding that energy between the chest and the earth. Feeling that pull. That magnetism between the two components. Feeling it draw your body down. Maybe wiggle the feet in towards one another just a little bit more so that about hip width apart. Soft bend in the knees. And drive through the soles of the feet. Keeping those knee bends, start to unravel the spine. Transitioning nice and slow into that standing position. As you start to ravel that energy through the hips, press the hips forward, engage the glutes. And then sweep the arms up overhead, reach tall. And hands to heart center. Sweep the fingertips down towards the earth. Make a big circle, big orb of energy around you as you reach the fingertips up tall. Exhale, sink the hips, hinge at the hips, bend the knees, hands come through heart center. As the fingertips meet the earth, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Wherever you are on your mat, go ahead and come into downward facing dog. So walk the hands forward, walk the feet back. And take a few moments to yourself to explore the space in your downward facing dog by pedaling out your feet. We've worked so far in the hips, both front and back, and a little bit into the back body, but not much at all into the shoulders. So with putting weight through your hands for the first time in today's class, feel that energy from the palms of the hands all the way through to the shoulder blades, and feel the shoulder blades press the heart down towards the back edge of the mat. You've been feeling energy throughout the back line of the legs. See how you can pull that energy all the way from the shoulders, through the back line of the body, through the hips, all the way down to the heels as they press down to the earth. Feel free to incorporate the blocks as you need, because we'll be stepping forward through the hands in just a few moments. So if that's something that you like to use, please feel free. On your next inhale, right leg lifts straight back behind you, three-legged dog. Keep the engagement through the arms. As you start to spin the hip open towards the right side of the room, bending at the right knee, drawing the right heel towards the glute, opening the hip towards the right side. As you draw the right knee, pressing the knee towards the left side of the room, pressing the front of the right hip towards the right side of the room. Feel that energy, that push and pull, to find a little bit more space through the front of the right hip. Stay engaged and strong within the arms. Close everything off. Keeping that knee bent, that heel towards your bottom. Start to bend into the left knee as you drag and draw the right knee in towards the chest, pressing through the heels of the hands, creating space for yourself. Big toe comes between the hands, and then exhale, press the right knee to straight. Coming into extended pyramid pose. Taking a few breaths here, drawing the right hip back, pulling the left hip forward. And then keeping the collarbones reaching long towards the top of the mat. Gaze just beyond the big toe. Bend into the right knee. Use your blocks, your fingertips, whatever you have for support, and start to drag the left toe back behind you as you lift the left leg up, keeping a soft bend in the right knee. Here for just a moment. Keep that bend in the right knee. Left heel comes to the left glute. And then start to pull the body forward, coming into a standing position. Take it nice and slow, coming into staff pose. Bring the knee in towards the chest. Feel free to hug in that left knee in towards the chest just a little bit more. Stay nice and tall. Loosen your grip, arms come up towards the sky. Left foot comes down to the earth. Sit the hips, low chair pose. Sitting the sit bones back behind you. Tummy engaged. Chest lifted. Energy pulling all the way up through the sit bones, through the back body, all the way through the fingertips. Exhale, press the knees to straight. Hinge of the hips, hands come through heart center, forward fold. Hands come to the blocks. And then step the feet back one at a time, coming through high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you have blocks, feel free to keep them there. Coming into the opposite side. Give yourself a breath, a moment, pedal through the legs as you need. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, heel to bottom, and then start to open the left hip towards the left side of the room. Pressing the left heel back in space towards the right as the left hip pulls towards the left. Feeling that push and pull to create more space than the left hip. Finding opening a little bit deeper, strong into the arms, using that energy from the earth. Close off the hip, keeping that left heel towards your bottom. Bend the right knee, drag and draw the left knee in towards the chest. Press through the earth to give your body some space. Left foot plants between the hands. Straighten that left leg, hips go back in space, extended pyramid pose. Pressing the left hip back, pulling the right hip forward. Gaze forward. Pull the collarbones through. Use the shoulder blades to press the heart forward. If you didn't have the blocks before, feel free to grab them now. Gentle press, push and pull the hips. Pull that energy to the midline of your body, the middle of your pelvis. Bend the left knee. Start to drag the right big toe forward until that right leg is ready to lift. Keep your hands on the floor, on the mat, on the earth. They can stay on the blocks, whatever you need to feel supported. Keep that right hip down, left hip back. Soft bend in the right knee. Soft bend in the left knee, sorry. Bend the right knee, heel towards your bottom. Keep that bend. And then start to pull the body up towards that standing position. Keep your fingertips on the block as long as you can until you're ready to pull your body up. It's nice and slow. The left leg eventually comes towards the direction of straight. Right knee in towards the chest. If you feel strong and steady, feel free to give your right leg a hug in towards your body to find a little bit more compression. Keep the spine tall. Press the left hip forward as you pull even closer towards your body. Let the wiggles and wobbles keep you strong and steady. Let go of the right hand, keep the right knee up. And then start to bring the right foot down to the earth. Sit the hips, low chair pose. Hips go back in space. Settle a little bit deeper into your hips, feeling the legs turn on just a little bit more. Lower belly engaged. Pull that energy through the sit bones, through the spine, through the shoulders as you reach the fingertips up tall. Feel all the energy being pulled up through the sole of the feet. that push and pull between the inner lining of the thighs and the outer lining of the hips. Reel all that energy up and up and up through the fingertips for 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart center. Push the knees back behind you. Hinge the hips, forward fold. Hands come to the earth. Step the left foot back. The right foot back, high plank. Press back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, allow the right shin to come down to the earth. The left shin to come down to the earth. Sit briefly, hips to heels. And then cross your legs. Sit bones down to the earth, feet flat, knees bent. Just a step-by-step way to guide you in coming down onto your back. The knees can stay bent. Just for a moment, before you allow the left leg to come long, right knee in towards your chest. Give it a good squeeze. If you'd like to keep the left knee bent, that's fine too, whatever your body is calling for. And then keeping that compression within the right side, go ahead and bring it all the way over towards the left, finding a simple twist. And don't force any particular movements that don't feel good for you. So trying to keep the right shoulder blade anchored into the earth is going to allow for a deeper twist, but if it's not in your capacity today, that's okay. Breathing into that right rib cage, breathing into the twist. As we've done through class, inhaling with length, exhaling with the energy of grounding. Continue that mental pattern, even in poses that might not necessarily result in any changes in length or depth. None that are visible, at least. Inhale back towards center. Allow the right foot to come back to the earth. Rebend the left knee and go ahead and switch sides. Left knee in towards the chest. Give it a good squeeze. Extend the right leg long if that feels good for you. Feel that compression. Feel the sensations that you're experiencing within the front of the left hip. And then keeping that closed off space, go ahead and bring the left leg over towards the right. Allowing gravity to help you into a deeper space, into the twist, by anchoring to the best of your ability through the left shoulder blade. And now returning your focus to the rib cage, focusing on the left side. And allowing yourself to fill it with as much air as you can. With every inhale. Focus even more so on the side body, back sides of the ribs. The spaces that are a little bit more challenging to work into. In this more closed off, twisted space. And with that breathing pattern, there may not be many changes in length to create through this twist. But you may find that you're experiencing a little bit more depth, and that's likely coming from a greater sense of relaxation, greater sense of comfort, greater sense of ease. Inhale back towards center. Left foot comes to the earth and right foot meets the left. Last moment of energy here in class, coming into bridge pose to open the front body. So go ahead and bring the heels in towards your bottom. Arms alongside your body. Gentle tuck of the low belly, bringing the back flat against the earth. And then pressing through the heels, engaging the backs of the hips to press the front of the hips up towards the sky. Maybe clasping your hands behind your low back, scooping the shoulder blades underneath you, the triceps onto the earth. Keeping that tuck of the tailbone, scooping the hips up towards the sky just a little bit more. Feeling the opening within the front body. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your grip. Arms come alongside the body and slowly lower down to the earth. Feeling the low back and then the hips as the muscles in the back body relax. If you have blocks today, and you would like to continue with that front body opening, please feel free to grab one of them. Lift the hips just for a moment to place that block underneath. Being sure to place it on that triangle bone at the base of your spine, rather than that arch in the low back. You can keep your knees bent. If you don't have a block, feel free to wiggle the feet wide, allowing the knees to touch, or coming into Shavasana with the legs extending long. Depending on your comfort, if you have a block, you can keep your knees bent, but you can also extend your legs long, finding a little bit more opening than the front of the hips. Just allowing your body to settle into the earth. Allowing the front body to open towards the sky. And bring the mind back to the breath. Taking note of the environment that you're in, the sounds, the sensations that you feel around you, acknowledging their presence, and then coming back to you. It's very easy in moments of silence, of quiet, of stillness, to take that as an opportunity to rev things back up, to create activation that's not needed, to create thoughts that aren't needed. We're so used to having a constant running mill of thoughts, tasks, to-dos, that when we finally arrive in moments of stillness, we feel like it's incorrect in one way or the other. So if that sounds a lot like you and me, find something to bring your attention to, something within your body, so that no matter what is going on around you, no matter what is trying to penetrate your thoughts, your mind, your stillness, you have a task. Your task is you. Your task is your breath. And if tuning into your breath, that pattern, if that doesn't come with ease quite yet, focus on the sensations within your body, the energy in your body. If you're in this supported opening, this supported bridge, how does that feel on your hips? If you feel like you're holding on to any extra tension, scan the body, acknowledge it, and let it go. Whatever space you chose to conclude in today, please feel free to remain there for as long as you need. Thank you as always for coming and practicing with me, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Have a great day.